all things material, all things matter, and the senses. Tauruses can be like masters of the five senses because ruled by the seven, or born out of the second house. So this also rules money, income, shit like that. All things that you can, all things that are tangible, like rule the physical world, or like of the physical world, of the external world, I should say. But its ruling planet is Venus. So this is love, beauty, relatability, and abundance. So you combine that with what they value, or you combine that with the second house, and they value, pretty things, or like having nice things, it's the aesthetic value of having things. You can see uh, Tauruses want big or nice things, or they want things to look proper, they want things to look a certain way, they're in touch with more of a like an artistic side, and this is how you become, master of the five senses, whether it be, look at how deep that can go into, like stuff like cooking or something like that, or even taste testing and shit, shit like that, working with the five senses and shit like that. But you see how it being in Venus and it be born out of the second house go hand in hand. So yeah, and then you look at what's exalted in Taurus, and the moon is exalted in Taurus, and the moon is how you react and respond to things. How you receive things. Your receptibility. That's the moon. And it being exalted here means that um, it's excited. It can get overly excited and exhaust himself, or it can get mildly excited, and just stay in a heightened state. So you receive a lot. You'll be receive a lot of emotions and feelings a lot. This is why you might come across very I guess, yeah, very emotional Taurus, yeah, or a Taurus that very stuck in their ways, or are sensitive, I should say. Tauruses that are sensitive because the moon is exalted here, but it being opposed by Pluto and Mars. So if we were to look at what Taurus is, um, with the moon being exalted, likes receiving things. So it's, and you know being the second house, being things that you value, tangible things. These are tangible things. These are things that are here. These are things. So that's what they focus on, what they have or what other people have and shit like that. Things that they can go to, touch, smell, feel, hear, things that are here within this reality. Pluto and Mars would kind of oppose that energy. Mars being your desires, passion, willpower, and all of that good shit. That's not stuff that you can see here. That's not stuff that is always readily in this realm, that external realm for you to see. And the same thing with Pluto. Pluto is transformation. Moving on, letting things go. That's Pluto. That's energy of Pluto. And when you look at and judge things by what you have and what you touch and shit like that, it's hard to transform, uh, because you're in a state of comfortability, or how you get comfortability is by having these things, and change requires you to let go. And the things that you would have to let go or transform through are the things that you hold to, and that would be more on the external side of things. But don't get it twisted and think that this means um, that they're all materialistics. There's yin and yang to everything. There's positive and negative to everything. So being sensual and masters of the five senses, like I was talking about before, that can go into many different other outlets, and this puts them in touch with when Earth, and can appreciate things on a whole nother level, you know. So what falls here is Uranus, and when something falls, just like how I probably didn't explain about how imposing, you know, it's not, opposing means working against, so it just more brings attention to those areas. It's probably harder for Tauruses, or it is harder for Tauruses to sustain that passion and desires. That's something that they probably really have to go deep inside and dig for, you know. Or you can find themselves in comfortable situations, even though they want more, they're afraid of losing what they already have, so they're hesitant in risking it, because they have, that's what they bring attention to. They know what they have to do, what needs to change, or what they transform, or what they need to let go, and but that's hard for them to do, or you know, situations and things are going to manifest in their life that are going to bring attention to that are really going to show them that, oh, this is what I have to do. So when you go with Uranus, it being fallen here, shows that this is where Uranus is asleep. This is where Uranus doesn't know what it's doing. So, or isn't aware of itself, isn't in control. It could be going which way, it can be going this way, it can be doing whatever. You know, it could be in a good spot, it could be in a stable spot, and it could be in a chaos spot. But it's the lack of control of where that is, because when something's opposing you, you know, it's involved, you know, or you, it brings attention to it. When something's asleep, you know, you can be get caught up and not really know what it is. But Uranus, that planet's dealing with individuality and your individual purpose, and how you see things, or the roles that you're supposed to play. Um, it falling here shows that would make sense when you look at what a Taurus is, or how I explained it, because you would be too reliant on things that are already in the external world, or creations of other people, and get lost and not create things yourself, create things in the interior, or get swept away in other people's past and desires, in search of stability. And that brings us into it being fixed earth. That's its modality, fixed, and its elemental sign would be earth. So with earth, you're looking at, you have the right and left brain, your creative side, your emotions, your feelings and shit, your intuitiveness, you know. All of that stuff is your right brain, and your left brain, the analytical, the practical, you know, the analyzing. Um, that would be your left brain. Earth would be the yin of your left brain, because it's going within about what's external. You're reacting to what is out here, or you're taking in the things that are here. You're experiencing it. That's why we're all having this earthy experience. You know, we're receiving earth and all the things. You know, that's what it means. So earth would be on the yin side of the left brain. So it being fixed earth would show that is where you would get that stability from. Um, it wants to find stability in what it's receiving. It wants to be able to receive, um, you know, it wants to be able to receive that constantly, or it's all about consistency, you know, with that element, you know, with what's practical. It's consistency in what's practical, and it's consistency in what's material, you know, not things that are fleeting, or that are going to be gone, or things that are more adaptable, or less suited to your needs and more to someone else's. They wouldn't, that's not going to resonate as much, or that's not, yeah, that's not going to resonate with it as much. So yeah, that's Taurus. Taurus opposes the sign Scorpio, because Scorpio is the feminine side of Mars, and Taurus is the feminine side of Venus. And as you see, Mars opposes Taurus, and Taurus being the feminine side of Venus, naturally it's going to oppose the feminine side of Mars, because they don't work together, or not that they don't work together, but look at it like a brother and sister relationship, you know? We're all we're all here, you know, we're same family, but you know, it's like there's friction, you fight sometimes. Yeah, you know, it's not like you can't coexist, but you know, there's that friction, you know, there's the individuality. You're doing this, and they're doing that. So, yeah, I hope I explained that all right. It's basically Taurus. Yeah, yeah, peace, fam, peace.